November. I want to wish us a happy new month. That has become our new tradition now. Every new month, we wish ourselves a happy new month. It's our first episode in the month of November. And if you're wondering who are these people and what are they about, this is Creative Nigeria here on mainland 98.3 FM. I am Bumi Bade Adeniji, and I'm always here alongside Frank Meke, the CEO of Creative Nigeria and also the co-anchor of the show. Good morning to you, Frank.
Good morning. Good morning to our listeners. Another Thursday. It's a menu.
Yes, indeed. As always.
As always. But this menu, sometimes you bring something new. So I'll leave it to you to introduce us this morning.
Imagine. Of course, we want to welcome you. You are indeed welcome to Creative Nigeria. If you are a returning listener, we are so proud of you for staying with us all the time, every Thursday morning here on the radio show. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. We just want you to take it a step further and just go to our social media pages and just engage us there. Let us know where you're listening to us from. Let us know how much you're enjoying the show and all of that. We would seriously appreciate on YouTube, on TikTok, and Creative Niger is spelled CRE8 TIVE 9JA. That's Creative Niger TV. And if you want to send us an email, we don't mind. We'd like to hear from you. creativeniger@gmail.com. The radio station's social media platforms as well. That's at mainland 98.3 FM. Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's start out this morning with a bit of congratulations in order for a friend of the house, a big brother indeed, because indeed the Muslim community of Surulere Ishiawo in Abeokuta, that's my hometown, they are honoring our dear friend Ishiawo. We'd like to express our own, congratulations from all of us here in the studio and indeed the entire Creative Niger family. Oh yeah, Mario. And as we say, we go wash our mo. That's Frank's very good friend. So I know that you will be supporting him, definitely. Also, it's worthy of note today that we let you know that there is a press conference that will be running concurrently with the show, because indeed it starts at 10 a.m. It's going on in the Federal Capital Territory. That's Abuja. And the plan is to, let the world know that there is a plan in place for what they are titling Tastes of Culture 2025, a gastronomy event. It's geared up to break whatever records exist as the longest dining table. So we are going to be setting up, apparently, our culture and tourism idea. We want to break whatever Guinness record exists with the longest dining table. And guess what? On top of that dining table, I hear that they would be setting up every culinary offering from every October 1st, around that time, where we have tastes of our tribes, and it's always wonderful. Of course, the only difference is we don't set up a dining table, but you get to eat something from every region in Nigeria. Honestly, this is one that you want to look forward to. So we wish Naihoto well, and definitely you know that on this show, Creative Nigeria, we're going to bring you, I'm sure by next week.
Actually, yesterday somebody called me from London and said, look, everybody came to WTF. WTF is on our travel market, and there's no presence of Nigeria. Bandiara. So WTF is going to be quiet this year because Nigeria has no presence. So for what Naihoto wanted to do with that longest dining table, it's a message to the world that here, a country not the only one. There are thousands of Nigerians, small tribes all everywhere. So on that dining table, we are going to see Nigeria on the same table. It's going to unify us. It's going to bring, and we can change the perception. We're happy people. Yeah. We don't want it to disrupt us. Okay? And even those who want to support or are against us, they will look at it like this. That's why what we are doing. These guys are together. So it's a big message. And coming from now at this critical time, I just pray that the thing will be properly interpreted. I pray that the minister can actually leverage on his friend. And I remember when Oresho was at, NCAC, you can see he used that vehicle to preach peace.
Nigeria.
Promote Nigeria. Preach peace all over the place. And I think this is critical at this point in time, that those who should be appointed in government, for God's sake, the president should. It's very important.
Indeed.
Very, very important.
And I must say a big kudos to Dr.
No, Fagade, yes. B쏘ᴅᴇ has been very frontal, I mean, of course, his background. Longest standing table. Oh, the world is really going to see Nigeria in one place.
They need to pay attention.
They need to pay attention.
We cooked the biggest pot of jollof rice recently. So we're going to have the longest
standing table.
Yeah.
And I trust how united we are, how peaceful we are as a country. And that's what that dining table. Because on the dining table, remember Christ and the disciples.
Indeed, yes.
That's where truths are told. That's where we tell people they are well together.
Family member who is back home. I mean that in as lightest as difficulties in the house this morning in the person of barrister. Well, I'm not sure if that will last long anymore, but it's a prayer. It's a prayer.
Actually, it's quite brilliant. Anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to be back at the studio this morning.
We are so happy to have you in the studio.
Same here. Thank you.
All right, so let's get. The organization says it disagrees with plans to unveil the museum administration of Godwin Obaseki to circumvent the original led by Professor Sam Gobadia, stated that it would not stand by and watch while a strange third party to the ownership of the iconic Benin alleged connivance with Godwin Obaseki's government. Is this another story of relooting of the returned ancient Benin artifacts? We shall keep you posted here. Meanwhile, November 22nd through till the 29th, inaugurated a planning committee for the Unity Festival, custodian from operational fatigue. Already, tongues are wagging over the introduction of esports and video games in what's kicking against the Obiasika Gen Z arrangement, which is clearly negating the Nigerian cultural experience. We will talk about it. Bolu Agbaje, our faculty on law, is it transferable and is it enforceable? Can citizens defend themselves when the government fails in its duties? Anchor Insurance has a date with us today, and Joy, I understand, will be taking us through the offerings that we have today. Barrister Makakban show. While Dr. Ben Lizzie Henacho takes us through creative economy, Ezekiel Onyeka will be focusing on artist life if our time permits. We also would like to delve a little bit into business economy with Taye Olayemi, and then of course educational. Keep it in your diaries that training, online on-air training, is coming very soon, and you can look forward to our music segment as well, devoted to our indigenous and contemporary African music. I'm Masiko by Ebenezer Obey will be what we bring your way today on our favorite cultural tourism economy program this morning. So I want to welcome you once again to Creative Nigeria. Good morning.
Do you know how people wait for years trying to get admission to study a course at a university when they can just acquire life-changing skills in 6 to 9 months? What If I Told You is offering young school leavers, degree holders, entrepreneurs, and tour guides the opportunity to be your own boss after graduation with highly subsidized tuition fees. Our skilled acquisition and professionalized courses include postgraduate diploma in hospitality and tourism management, cookery and pastry practice, IATA Foundation Diploma, Professional Certificate in Tour Operations, Certificate in Hotel and Catering Management, Resort Operations, tailor-made short-term courses in 26 or 0708-720-5537. Log on to www.nihotour.gov.ng.
Is not only huge and vast, it rumbles through states of the country, providing opportunities for movement of goods, services, and persons. It also helps put food on the table for Nigerians through agriculture and fishing, nursing a national laboratory for thousands of marine species unknown to science. Our culture economy At Waterfront Boat Owners and Water Transport Association, WABOTAN, we cherish this gift of nature and enjoin all Nigerians, government at all levels, and our people to protect and preserve our inland waterways, inlets, rivers, and lagoons for generations yet unborn. When next to travel on our inland waterways, wear your life jacket and strictly obey all safety instructions. This message was brought to you by WABOTAN, Waterfront Boat Owners and Water Transporters Association of Nigeria, at number 19 Oyekon Road, Apapa, Lagos. Find us on Twitter at WABOTAN Nigeria, on Facebook at Water Transport Nigeria, and on YouTube at WABOTAN Media. WABOTAN, your safety on our waters guaranteed.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Creative Nigeria here on Mainland 98.3 FM. It's Bumi on air alongside Frank Cʀᴇ, and with the law, is the government at this time doing enough to protect Nigerian citizens from harm by extremists and
Topic, the rights of Nigerian citizens to be protected by the government, and the right. Every state owes its citizens a fundamental duty of protection. The Nigerian government, like every other state, is also, important, which is an agreement that citizens surrender their freedom in exchange for, abdicated. The very foundation of governance is checking. The origin of the doctrine of social contracts. It was promulgated by Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean Jacques, which are great thinkers. And what they said hypothetically was that it's an agreement among individuals to form a government and establish rules for peaceful coexistence, moving away from a state of nature, which is, according to Thomas Hobbes, is brutish, is nasty, and is short. In essence, what is the next meal that I'm going to have for breakfast? Or maybe orderliness within the society. The citizens themselves decided to surrender.
True.
So that is the whole essence of, why we have government in the first place. So now when the government is not doing or living up to that expectation, then all these insinuations about, what would the citizen do, would then begin to crop up, which is the situation we are dealing with right now.
Right now.
Now, but talking about our constitution is the primary responsibility of the government. The primary responsibility, the whole essence of the government itself, ab initio, is the security and welfare of the people. Now, it is very clear under this provision that protection of the life, so it is not even debatable. In fact, as a matter of fact, it's actionable against the state. And also if you look at section 33, sub 1 of the Constitution, it preserves every right to life. As a citizen of Nigeria, you have the right to live. You have the right to life. And such right cannot be deprived from you, preserved under our Constitution. I don't mind you. The Constitution is the ground norm, is the highest law, which every other law in the country take its cue from. So any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. So you cannot even be talking of whether as it is. So if the Constitution itself provides that every citizen of Nigeria have the right to life, they have the right to personal dignity. Are you getting it? And the Constitution also put it on the bottom, like on the table of whether we have the right to enjoy security and welfare. So also if you look at the provisions of either the Nigerian Police Force Section 2 Act that gives both the police and the military the power to protect every Nigerian both internally and externally. Harm both internally and externally. Because these are a cue from the social contract, from the parts that we have all signed with the government by donating our, they call them inalienable rights They are the right that was given birth to. They were inalienable.
Yeah.
So for you to have donated that right, that even though I have the right to work, but I'm not going to work anyhow in a country, maybe I have the right to, I can't walk into my neighbors. If you can work, God has given you that right to work. So you can choose to work anywhere. But because you have donated out your right to the government by signing that social contract, it's an inalienable right. It is now the responsibility of the government, you know. Now, if you are talking about protective duty or ascending a widespread insecurity, like we are expressing now, terrorism, kidnapping, banditry, communal clashes, it's like entering into a contract with a party and you are not fulfilling your own obligation under that contract. It constitutes a breach. And it's also a violation of the constitutional rights of the seats. It undermines the constitutional right of that citizen. And it's also a failure on the part of the government. And it's also a breach of the social contract that such citizen has with the government. So such failure can be interpreted as a dereliction of constitutional responsibility capable of eroding public trust and undermining national stability.
I'm sorry, I needed to just, because what matters here is that we don't leave the citizens to take laws into their hands because government has failed or seem to have failed. So ordinary for me, I would say, if I have somebody, I have a nephew that was kidnapped sometime last year, and the guy is still suffering from the impact today. So it cost me a lot of money to be sending to him all the time to go to hospital. So what do I do? Okay, government, you have failed. It's a contract we had. You have failed. Can I go to the courts and get judgment? And say, okay, because you have cost me this, okay,
government is liable.
Government is liable to take care of this person. Is it possible?
So if you look at the case of Fʀᴜᴜ and Akilu, it's a Supreme Court decision of 1987. The Supreme Court recognized the rule of law that demands accountability when the state or its agents fail to protect citizens from harm. And if you also look at the section right to use reasonable force to prevent himself from being in a harm's way, it's called self-defense. It is preserved under the Constitution. As a matter of fact, one of the exceptions to right to life use minimum force to defend himself, and the person now dies in the process. It is recognized under the Constitution. So in that instance, the right to life becomes, conditional. So if you have the right to, that doesn't mean you have to bring cutlass and try to attack me. If you are trying to attack me and I find another object, hits you on your head, then that your right to life becomes, option to the right to life.
Okay, but Nigerians travel a lot. That myself, but I don't want to. Rather, I would expect to go to court to say, government, you have failed in this area. Please, can you recompense? This person. I like to come about my nephew who was kidnapped, and I honestly say that I don't know. I'm a lawyer. That's why we are consulting you here. That look, government has a right to pay compensation. Because when they are paying compensation all over the place, I'm sure they'll wake up and do that duty. But again, the law aspect of it is what we take the ordinary citizens. They defend the ordinary citizens because look into other areas. So there also is a window that we need to relieve, because also need to live up to the responsibility. Somebody must hold. You talked about accountability. We need to hold the law. One that the right thing be done so that we can clean up our society, and it starts from the elements of law.
But the only thing I would like to respond to, when you said you rather go to court and all of that, and you want to go to court, do you understand? That is why the Constitution allows you to use force that is also proportionate to the same force that the person is bringing.
That also is a legal landmine.
They are not
the same.
They are not the same.
All right.
But if he's carrying cutlass and you carry iron,
but some stick get more power. There's a way you apply a stick. Do you know that a vehicle
stick and go?
Law self.
I tell you.
We need to look at this because you can't really hold down to a lot of things from the common man view anyway. But again, Bolu, I'm sure by next week we're going to look at that field itself. We're going to look at, of course, we're going to look at law itself and say
their trust in our judicial system. So I think that's what the conversation is going to be.
Okay, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. I have my own view on that.
All right. Well,
against next week, if you have questions for our barrister at law, please write them, send them to our social media pages. We will collate them and we'll bring them to the table, most definitely. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue with the show.
Tourism is booming and the future is calling you. This November, all roads lead to Necker House, Ikeja, Lagos for the Tour Operators International Conference and Expo 2025. Join top industry leaders, travel professionals, and global brands for a one-of-a-kind gathering that will connect, educate, and inspire. Date, 25th November 2025. Venue, Necker House, Ikeja, Lagos. Don't miss engaging panel sessions, networking opportunities, and an expo field with amazing travel experiences. It's time to grow, to innovate, and to take your business international. Tour Operators International Conference and Expo 2025, your gateway to the future of tourism. Explore, connect, grow. Toys 2025.
At Anchor Insurance, we will always turn up for our clients when it really matters. We put in 100% because they mean the world to us. If you desire insurance services built around you, where claims are paid promptly, then come to Anchor Insurance.
You are the best. You are the very, very best. Oh, yeah. You make our world go round. And this is why we'll always be our anchor.
Anchor Insurance, where insurance truly works.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for engaging with us and staying tuned to Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm so pleased to read this comment all the way from Enugu State, if I pronounce that well. Good morning, my people in the studio. Good morning to you, sir. The major bane of Nigeria's problem is bad governance. Joining us this morning, joining us via the phone lines this morning is Joy from Anchor Insurance. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing today? Our listeners want to know what exactly is burglary insurance. I mean, we know that burglary is something nobody desires, but how do we insure ourselves against burglary?
All right, thank you for that question. So burglary insurance is a type of property insurance that provides compensation for loss or damages to property forcibly broken into, yes, possible entry or violent entry or exit from a premises that has been insured and with the intent to steal from that premises. So it covers loss of damage. So when that property is broken into and something is stolen from that property, insurance has a way of covering it. Yes, covers it. So covers also damage to doors, windows, evidence of forced entry.
Wow. You know, I wish I had this cover a few years ago when my house was broken into. It was broken into by a neighbor. You know, a neighbor, I tell you, but we handled it well. Anyway, let me just say we handled it well.
Yes, exactly.
Correct. How about the difference?
Yes, there are differences. You know, ordinarily people will theft that involves forcible and violent entry or exit from the premises. Then theft, and that burglary is actually what's covered in insurance. Then theft on its own is stealing without force or violence. Theft, and it's usually not covered under burglary unless it's specifically extended. Then robbery on its own. Yes, robbery on its own is theft involving violence or threats to persons. You know, if I come at you with a gun or a club or something and demand what's yours, that's where you have robbery, and it is not covered under a burglary. It has its own policy where that can be handled.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. So that's covered as well.
Yes.
Okay.
But not under
burglary insurance. Man, you've awakened my interest in this particular offering from Anchor Insurance, and we can't wait to we'll continue from where we stopped next week.
Okay.
God willing.
All right.
I want to wish you a very, very wonderful rest of your day, Joy.
Thank you very much.
How can we reach you? For example, you know, somebody has heard this, is interested. How can they reach you?
Okay, we are Anchor Insurance Company, and we are located at the number 21 Ahmed Onibudo Street, Victoria Island.
Okay.
Number 21 Ahmed Onibudo Street, Victoria Island.
How about if they can't, you know, come all the way to Victoria Island? Is there a way to reach you virtually?
Yes, you can go on our website and request for any information that you want, and somebody will be willing to attend to you.
Amazing. And that's
www.anchorinsurance.ng.
Okay. Thank you.
Then we have our phone line.
Okay, yeah.
Too, which is 090 600 00 and 963.
Okay, 090.
Yes, 600 00 963.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joy. We can't wait as you go
Thank you
along
very
with
much.
your day. All right. We've been talking to Anchor Insurance representative this morning, Joy, and we will continue this conversation, of course, most definitely next week, Thursday. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. Up next right now is copyright law, listening to.
Today we take a dive into one of the most exciting areas of creativity, music. Music is perhaps the commonest thing everyone can relate to when it comes to art forms and genres. Its appeal sometimes transcends language, cultures, and age segmentations. Music impacts humanity in several ways. From entertainment, also have a therapeutic effect. So we cannot overemphasize the importance of music. Ultimately, music is not only an art, it is also a business, that music business. First, who are the players in music ecosystem? Many talented persons are involved in the music as one homogeneous product, without adverting our minds to the fact that it may be a product of collaborative effort involving more than one talent. It is important to understand that there are various contributors to the ultimate product that goes into the marketplace. One of them, and perhaps the foremost, is the author of the music. The author of a music is essentially the songwriter, composer, and the arranger. It also includes those who write lyrics for the song and those who write the musical notations that brings into being the melody and rhythm. It includes those who compose or arrange the accompanying instrumentals. The output from a songwriter, lyricist, composer, or arranger is what is recognized in our copyright law as a musical work. The next in line of players is the performer. A performer is one who sings or plays musical instruments or make any audible sound in the course of rendering a music or making a recording of such music. They are more popularly called artists. They could perform in front of an audience, on stage, or in the recording studio. Interestingly, the result of a performer's work is defined as a performance called a record. The next player I'd like to talk about is a music publisher, sometimes very invisible in the chain of music production. A publisher represents songwriters by authorizing the recording of the song. Licensing to streaming platform, the author are the starting point of the music industry. They may, however, not always be able to reach the market directly, but through music publishers. A music publisher, therefore, that the creators are rewarded for their creativity. Another player is the producer. The term is commonly used to describe the person who supervises or makes the arrangement for the recording process in a recording studio. For instance, someone like Mr. Cʀᴇ8ᴛɪᴠᴇ, a famous producer, was responsible for the production of one of Nigeria's popular music, Ijo Shino, performed by Sir Shino Peters. The famous Quincy Jones, for example, supervised the recording of Michael Jackson's Thriller. These are notable contributors to the music business. Last on the value chain, but perhaps the most important of them, is the recording company. The recording company, or record label as they are sometimes known, are very important in the music value chain. While producers organize for the recording, they always work closely with the record companies. In the copyright balance, they are called phonogram producers. The record companies, whether in vinyl, compact disc, MP3, or other portable sound carriers that the public can access and enjoy. In our next episode of Nigeria's music in the global music industry, keep a date.
Many thanks to Mike Akpan. Music business, I am interested. Without further ado, we also want to go to a segment where it's very important at this time that you know whether to carry your umbrella, whether to, stay at home.
For the weather in Lagos, let's start with Abuja today. We're always doing Lagos first. So the weather in Abuja, expect cloudy patches in the sky, and it will also allow for sunshine once in a while, and the temperature will go from a blazing 34 degrees Celsius to a very agreeable 22 degrees Celsius at the lowest. So sunrise in Abunit. In Lagos, there will be clouds expected today. Also, there'll be sunshine at various times. And because in Lagos we've had rainfall it's raining somewhere at one point for the past week. So please have your umbrella on you at every moment if you can. And the highest temperature is 31 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be 25 degrees Celsius. In Lagos, sunrise was at 6:33 in the morning and sunset will be at 6:27 in the evening. There's a total hour of area and put together by Aḻị̀ Ebube Sharon James. Thank you.
Because time is running. Up next is...
Good morning, everyone. This morning we are looking into the pension industry, and I need to bring to the public domain. The National Pension Commission, that is made a kind of reform in their pension scheme, whereby initially where we can make plans for their future through contributing pension scheme on a monthly basis. But now the sector can now contribute towards their future. The informal sector makes up a lot. This will ensure better financial security for all contributors in retirement, and people embrace it. So this is an era whereby you can now plan for your future, even if you are not gainfully employed in Nigeria. So another development is that PENCOM recently inaugurated PenCare Board of Trustees, whereby it's planning to cater for people who need to visit their website, know more about these. This is very, very important. Thank you very much.
I want to say a very big thank you to Tayo Olayemi for that. I think the moment you start having gray hair, or the moment you're, even long before then, to put something aside for your future. Not necessarily for you to partake of, but for the young ones coming after you to partake of. I think it's very important. Or Frank, what say you?
For everything, the pension has been in the news for a long time. I think there are some reforms also going through that, so that people can have confidence in that in that policy, as the case may be. Because every time, sometimes, Lord will make it graveyard. You have to start when you are very young to start planning for the future. It's very important because no man knows tomorrow.
Indeed, indeed. No man knows tomorrow. I think that's just the word. Without further ado, I'm going to go straight into our culture, technology, festivals, limited, edited by Frank Making. The Warri to Itakwe railway line suffered a derailment few months after the Abuja to Kaduna rail accident, causing a palpable showdown on Nigeria's 7.3 billion naira rail transportation modernization agenda. The Nigerian Railway Corporation confirmed 7:30 p.m. on Saturday last week. Cʀᴇ8ᴛɪᴠᴇ, the MD, Nigeria Railway Corporation, NRC, disclosed that no life was lost in the accident. Meanwhile, the Chad Republic has shut down its borders with Nigeria as a precaution to prevent to flush out terrorists from Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nigeria security chiefs and politicians agreed that Nigeria would welcome help from the United States to help wipe out insurgency from the country. While the American government is it is working around the clock to smoothen visa applications from Nigeria applications yearly, but with a new resolve to upskill that, with the federal government and the leadership of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors bickering over outstanding payments and paid allowances, and vowed not to attend to groaning and sick patients until the government cleared up the debt. The Nigeria date imposed on Meta for violating privacy rights of its Nigeria users. And finally, on our news, arts and culture, NAFEST, slated for the state this November from the 22nd to the 29th, 2025. Secretary to the state government, Professor Chidiebere Onya, disclosed that the committee would coordinate and ensure proper planning of NAFEST activities without any hitch. Wilson Uche, Vice President, Southeast Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, it is expected that NAFEST can help address critical cultural and heritage history issues, bringing Nigeria's diverse cultures and communities together once again to help strengthen national unity and peace. The Obiasika-led National Council for Arts and Culture and National Security Challenges, using cultural tourism narratives as a vehicle to bridge gaps. Can Enugu State Local Organizing Committee do it better? We wait and see. And that's it on our news segment this morning. I wish we had time to talk about some of these things, but Frank, I'm just going to give you 1 minute to just, comment on whichever one of the news offerings that you would like to.
I'll talk about the ICAC and, of course, the NAFEST event coming up in Enugu. For kudos to Enugu State government, but Bumi, I'm worried that sometimes when we do cultural events, we don't give proper interpretation. Okay, and we're talking about it's not now. Okay, I mean, a lot of things have gone wrong over time. Yeah. But okay, across the southeast, of course, it's coming to the southeast after quite a long. Bumi, I believe that. If, as a Nigerian, and that's why you see artists, those who actually move around the country, you don't see them banding tribalism because they have lived with you, they have eaten your food, they have taken your drink. So they can't harm you. They become a family. That is the values of culture and travel. Okay? So, for instance, a lot of people, artists are going to come, contingents from all over the country, 36 states, converging in Enugu. Okay? They're going to eat Ugba, they're going to have the drinks and all this. So when they go back home, and you text them and say, no, let's go this way. No, I understand these people. I've eaten their food and their drinks. So that interpretation should be there. Yeah. I worry what Obiasika wants should be reconnected to the culture.
I absolutely
should
agree.
be reconnected because all these foreign inputs, because it's Gen Z, doesn't work. Our culture should be the in thing. I just told you about London now. Everybody's shouting, Where's Nigeria? Okay? Because there are certain things they bother to go. I have an airpiece freely ticket, but there's no Nigeria. So why would I be going to be reporting? Okay? So, Bumi, that is what we're talking about. We're saying that use this.
You completely. So we look forward to the 22nd to the 29th of November. It's NAFEST again. A full, fashion and all of that. So make it a date. If you can make your way to Enugu State, they are hosting NAFEST this year. And you can trust Creative Nigeria. We're going to bring you all the news of all the events and the happenings that went on or that will go on at NAFEST this year. From all of us, 98.3 FM, from Frank.
Bye-bye.
All right, from Ebube.
Hold your umbrella.
Hold your umbrella. And from myself, I say I leave you in the able hands of Chief Ebenezer Owo.